Seriously, why did I do it that way? That's why I am evidently not thinking today. Oh well. Oh. Best stream of the day. Because I imagine there'll be two. I left the Demas the second investigation to Francesca and returned to Babel. I suppose my first order of business should be to look into Babel's statue. Mr. Edgeworth! So, okay, what's the situation? Oh, it's great. Investigating is so much fun. In other words, they've made absolutely no progress. We weren't goofing off, honest, sir. We've been investigating our hearts out. Very well, then. Would you care to give me an update on your investigation? We've had a really fun time, sir. I knew it. Zero progress. In any case, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir? You have permission to enter the Albastian embassy, is that correct? Yep. As a local detective, I'm helping out with investigations on both sides, sir. Good. In that case, I can leave these pieces of evidence with you. They belong to the lady under the Pink Princess mask. The Pink Princess? What kind of lady was playing her, sir? The kind that was also playing the role of the Pink Badger yesterday. Understood, sir. If I happen to run into her, I'll give them back to her. And if I don't, then I guess I'll unload them somewhere. He doesn't seem all that enthused to go find her, and I can't blame him. Evidence that has lost their value given to Detective Gumshoe. Now then, I don't believe I'll be needing this anymore either. What? Are you really going to throw that autograph away? Yes, because that Stone Samurai was a fake. Wait, what? What do you mean by fake? Now then, I believe it's time for a little housekeeping. Yes? How's the investigation going in the Balbrini Secretariat's office, Kay? Well, even though we found a few treasures, they've all been pretty much burnt to a crisp. Treasure is a terrible thing to waste. Anyway, is there anything else I should know about? Oh, that's right. You know what I found in that office? A wooden bear carving. It's so cute. Can I have it? Huh? Can I? No, of course you can't. By the sound of things, it appears that there has been no progress in the investigation. Mr. Edgeworth! You look like you're enjoying yourself, Detective. Well, I don't have much else that I enjoy as much as a good investigation, sir. So, what did you find out? Oh, well... I take it he has found nothing of any particular use, as usual. Oh, hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I've got something really interesting from Ambassador Polino. Oh, and what is this something interesting? This, sir. Wow, that's so pretty. I'm so jealous. That's a real treasure there. Why does the flame burn green, Detective? Well, so apparently, if you burn the special white crystal oil they only make in Babel, it burns this green colour, sir. Interesting. So it's a special property of the oil. I suppose this is a ploy to force people to visit Babel. let the oil run out. Hey Gummy, what about these silhouettes? Oh, we stuck some cutouts on the outside of the lantern that would project the images. Oh, silhouettes, huh? They are rather pretty, aren't they? Wait, what am I doing? Am I supposed to be asking for an update on the investigation? Oh, hey, what's wrong, sir? There's something I want you to investigate for me. Do you think you can do that much? Uh-huh. Oh, you got it, sir. Hey, that's not fair. Why is Gummy getting to do all the fun stuff? Oh, well, that's because I'm Mr. Edgeworth's partner. Can't believe you took advantage of the confusion and stole my role as assistant. I expect the two of you to get along and work together like professionals on this. So you're back now, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? You must be tired. Here, with these you can eat whatever you'd like. And these are discount tickets for our cafeteria. They open tomorrow at 10 in the morning. I appreciate the concern. However, these coupons do nothing for me right now. And this open-air stage, what function does it serve exactly? Well, normally we use it for a variety of events. It's all to attract that extra bit of attention to Babel. We heard that tonight, over in Albastian Rose's garden, Ambassador Alba was to give a speech. And you know what? Manny told me that I really should give a speech too. Mr. Koken told you that? Yes, he did. Which is why I thought I should give a speech of my own. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to. Because of the fire the Atagarasu started. Exactly. Ambassador Polino, I'd like to ask you a little more about the Prima Duck statues. Oh, I see. Well, let me ask you this. Did you know that Alabaster and Babel used to be one country called Cappadocia? Yes, I knew that much about your history. Well, the Prima Duck statue belonged to the founders of Cappadocia. At least, that's how the story goes. It was bequeathed unto the king of Cappadocia as a symbol of the country's wealth. So, it was meant as a symbol of sovereignty and the right to rule, I take it. Yes, that's right, which is why both countries are so adamant about their claim. We hold the real statue, therefore we hold the right to rule, is the reasoning. It's pretty petty when you think about it though, I suppose. But if Albast and Babel were to re-establish relations, that put an end to the squabbling over the statue. I have no reason to believe so. The Prima Duck statue is even more important now as a key to diplomacy. I wonder if Ambassador Polino knows about what has happened to the very important key to diplomacy. Perhaps I should try showing him this key and see what he has to say about it. Ambassador Polino, there's just one thing I'd like to ask you about. Yes? Oh, don't worry. You can ask me more than just one thing. How about 2 or 3? In exchange, I expect you'll be coming to Babel, yes? Thank you, but just the one thing is all I require. Manny Koken, I'd like to ask you about this man who was your secretary. Sure. I'll tell you what I know. Thank you for your cooperation, Ambassador. He was, well, I had to put it in one word. He was an able man. If there was ever anything I needed as an ambassador, he was able to get it for me. To think that a man like that had a hand in a smuggling ring right under my nose, going completely unnoticed. Actually, I suppose because he was an able man, I was unable to detect his dirty dealings. It sounds like Mr. Cochran had a very sharp mind. Recently, Manny had been really busy. Since I became the Balbalese representative at the Country Unification Council. He's been working tirelessly to cover my work for me. I'm sorry, but what is this Country Unification Council? Oh well, you see, tonight's events proceeded without a hitch. Our two countries were to reunify and become one again. But I guess with how things turned out, that dream won't be realized anytime soon. I suppose not. Ambassador Green, if you could please take a look at this for me. The Prima Duck statue sitting in Albast right now actually belongs to Babel. So it would appear. I received a call from Miss Von Karma about this earlier. Then you will understand why I wish to inspect Babel's Prima Duck statue immediately. Because the statue currently in your country's possession. Yes, well, I've already inspected it myself. And it is definitely Albast's statue. I know because it's the real statue. And then you're saying that Babel's was a replica? I'm embarrassed to say it's true, even though I knew that someday it would be exposed. I received my orders from the leaders of Babel. I was to negotiate with Ambassador Alba at this event. I was to negotiate with him and fix the results of the evaluation tonight. To say that we could not determine which statue was the real one.
Hold it!
Why are you telling me this? Well, because you already figured it out. Our statue is just a hollow gold shell. Even if Babel were to lose face, the reunification of the country is what's important. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? I'm not making a mistake, right? If you don't know yourself, then I won't pretend to know either. I never thought by being betrayed by my own secretariat, the real symbol of wealth would be given to me. Isn't it simply ironic? Hey, where are you going? Are you heading back to Albast? Yes, but before I do, I suppose I should give you a summary of what's happened. Oh, I see. So there's been a murder in both countries using an object from the other country. And that's the gist of it. Babel is just as strict as Albast in their inspection of the people and things that enter their country, meaning that somehow both murder weapons were smuggled into the two countries. It's the only logical conclusion that can be drawn. Perhaps the key to the weapon smuggling is the person who traversed both countries. You mean the fake Yatagarasu? In one way or another, the Yatagarasu is connected. Of this I am sure. Now then, where was the Yatagarasu first spotted? I believe it was the rose garden on the Albastian side of the embassy. The garden is just on the other side of this boundary. It's where Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight. At least, that's where I heard the Yatagarasu had appeared. In that case, I believe it's vital that I investigate the rose garden post-haste. Wait, before you go, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it? My guess is that it's a guitar pick. Picked it up just now over there. Do you think it'll be of any use? There's a little water on it. But how did the water get on it? Doesn't look like there's anything that could get wet from around here. I was thinking they have concerts here at this open air stage from time to time, right? Alright, I'll find its owner later. Oh yeah, there's one more thing. Mr. Edward, would you be willing to hold on to this? What is this? It's misused perfume. It's the bottle that woman left behind, and that I found 7 years ago. felt that one day it'd be of some use in tracking her down. So I kept it safe all this time. Thank you. I'd be honored to hold on to it for you. I think I'll be turning to the investigation in Albus now, but... I know. I'll go back to Babel and do some more investigating there. I see you're back, Miles Edgeworth. How are things in Babel? Although I can't really say I expect much from Scruffy and that girl. The investigation into Manny Cochran's death hasn't really progressed any. However, the investigation into the Yatagarasu has. Ah yes, the Yatagarasu. Even now I find it hard to believe. A person who can freely traverse between the two countries at will. Preposterous. Well, that's what I came here to investigate. I heard that this is where the witnesses claim to have seen the Yatagarasu. That's correct. Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight here in Albas. And that's when the Yatagarasu appeared. The shadow of the mysterious thief appeared, and just as suddenly it vanished. After that, there was the fire at the Balbesian embassy that the Yatagarasu started. I found that not a single feather from the Yatagarasu shall escape my diligence. There are roses scattered on the surface of the water, creating a pleasant fragrance. It's not just for aesthetics. This pool's water is also used in putting out fires. I see. Oh. The pool stopped filling itself automatically. The fountain spouts are said to stay open until the pool's water reaches a certain level. If this water is used to put out fires, I suppose it must be refilled to its normal level. Which suggests that this pool was recently used somehow in this embassy. Fire? I guess I'll take some notes about it, just in case. How dare you surprise me like that? I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Edgy. Thanks for what you did back there. Your gratitude alone is enough. More importantly, Larry, this pool is not for your personal enjoyment. I know that. Do you really think that I'm the type to just jump into a pool and swim around for fun?
Objection!
Alright then. Did you by chance fall into the pool? Nice guess, but no dice. So you know my son, right, Edgy? Your son? I guess I kind of lost sight of him when I shook hands with the ambassador. I'm pretty sure he was around here when I last saw him. You imbecile! How can you be so flippant at a time like this? What are you going to do if your son fell into the pool? And how old is this child of yours anyway? How old is he again?
Hold it!
Larry, this is the first I've heard of a son. Who exactly is the mother? The mother? Oh, that chick. The pink princess. The pink princess.
Hold it!
Miss Von Karma. I was a bit confused by this man's words for a bit there. However, I believe what he is looking for is the doll of the Iron Infant. Yep, because I'm the Steel Samurai through and through, heart and soul. And the Iron Infant is my cute little son.
have given a whole new meaning to the phrase, an astounding fool.
Larry, we have not seen hide nor hair of the Iron Infant, but rest assured that if we should find him, we'll let you know. Now get out of there. Sounds good. In that case, I'll go search over there. Wait! Well, it's not as if you'll get very far swimming around in that pool. And though he's unrelated to the murders, he sure knows how to cause a lot of trouble. There is an overturned spotlight here.
Then the Atagarasu appeared. The audience that was waiting for the speech to start panicked. I suppose that's when someone must have knocked it over.
I'm having a tough time visualizing the mass confusion that took place here.
I thought to use my wit to capture the Atagarasu. However, there were people in my way, and I was unable to land even a single lash.
I suppose this means that some other poor saps were hit instead. A statue of a woman. I wonder if the lady is pouring water.
It says that it's a statue of the queen who spoke of love to King Primidux. Bell, my Edgeworth? It seems that you are lousy at reading a woman's heart.
I opened my mouth about a statue and she somehow made the leap to that. Okay. This statue bears a resemblance to the Primidux statue.
The plaque says, King Primidux in the battlefield. In order to save the queen, King Primidux put his life on the line and went to war.
So, Primidux was actually a person of royal blood. I thought he was simply someone imitating a character from ancient legend.
Well, what surprises me is that a real person who looked like the Steel Samurai existed.
I suppose there's that too. There is an overturned spotlight here. Yep. Oh yes, yep, same thing. Have you finished checking out all the bystanders? Yes, sir. And we found 14 counts of pickpocketing, 16 counts of illegal parking, and one person ran a light, sir. Sir, tell me you didn't find out anything related to the case. Sir, not a single thing, sir. Well, for now let's just get those other lawbreakers down to the precinct. Agent Lang? Well, if it isn't Mr. Prosecutor. I would just like to thank you for your assistance earlier. Make no mistake, it's not like I was trying to help you with what I did. After I left, did you receive word from Ambassador Alba? We'll wrap up our bodyguard assignment at the end of today. Oddly enough, we received word from HQ to return home on an urgent matter. As if I can be so easily hauled away from this case after I've come this far. I swear that I'll find the truth and drag it out screaming into the light. You're with me on that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? You were working as Ambassador Alba's bodyguard at the time. So naturally you witnessed when the Atagarasu appeared, correct? Yeah, I saw the thief all right, with my own two eyes. The Atagarasu was always there, lurking in the shadows. But when the spotlights were turned on for Ambassador Alba's speech, a shadow appeared. That's when the cries of, "It's the Yatagarasu" rang out. The next second the spotlight went out. And by the time we got to the area lit again, the deft thief had vanished. When we investigated afterwards, we found that the reason the lights went out was because someone had unplugged the extension plug for all the outdoor electronics. Whether it was someone doing it on purpose, or simply a guest who had tripped over it, we don't know. But one thing is for certain. The Yatagarasu was here. So you're saying that basically all you saw was the thief's silhouette? Yes.
Objection!
If all you saw was a shadow, then it's entirely possible that the shadow belonged to someone else.
Good thinking, sis. You just might be right. If it weren't for the fact that there was no one else with that same shape, not among the staff or the audience members. My men have already done a thorough check of everyone, so I know I'm right. Someone else's shadow. It sounds like a plausible hypothesis. The sudden appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. I believe I figured out its true origin.
I expected no less from my subordinate. Now, let's hear what you know on the subject.
Take that!
The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. Is it not possible that it was created by this statue?
Objection!
Are you playing me for a fool, Miles Edgeworth? This statue bears absolutely no resemblance to the shadow of the Yatagarasu.
You are correct. However, this statue is but one part of the whole picture.
What do you mean by only one part?
What is the other part to the real form of the Yatagarasu shadow?
Take that!
It's another statue?
The Yatagarasu shadow was made from the shadows of these two statues.
Made? What do you mean by that?
Right now the spotlights are all over the place. This is because they were moved when the guests were in a panicked state. However, if we were to restore the lights to where they were when the thief appeared...
You believe that the two shadows will create the Yatagarasu shadow?
Precisely. Now then, watch as I reveal the true form of the Yatagarasu. First, we set up a spotlight to cast a shadow of the King Primadux in the battlefield. The shadow of the King's statue would appear on the backdrop of the stage. Likewise, if we set a light up on the Queen who spoke of love to King Primadux, her silhouette would also appear on the backdrop to the stage.
So if we want to combine the two shadows, it looks nothing like the Yatagarasu shadow. Miles Edgeworth, how do you explain this grotesque shape?
Calm down, Francesca. The way the light needs to be shone on the Queen's statue is wrong.
What do you mean by that?
I believe that the whole of the King's shadow needs to be used for this to work. However, in the case of the Queen, I don't believe our whole shadow is needed. Rather, the person who created the shadow only used one part of her shadow.
Only one part?
Yes, and that one part alone is enough to fill in the rest of the Yatagarasu shadow.
Why didn't you say that in the first place?
You're right. I apologize.
Now then, what part of the Queen's statue was used to complete the Yatakarasu's shadow?
Take that!
Think back to what is missing in our shadow. 5 long thin areas, correct? Now what does that remind you of?
Huh?
That's right. It can only be the shadow of the Queen's left hand. Francesca, can we please adjust the spotlight's position?
So that it only shines on the Queen's left hand?
No, so that it only shines on the Queen's left hand.
Alright, let's give it a try and see what we get. It's...
Yeah, this is exactly like the shadow I saw. The culprit must have changed the spotlight's positioning beforehand. And then pulled the plug after the people saw what the culprit wanted them to see. In their panic, the guests must have moved the spotlights around, which we can assume was also part of the culprit's plan. By the time the lights came back on, the Yatagarasu's shadow had vanished.
Which means that the shadow was a construct from the very beginning.
So you see, the Yatagarasu never did visit Albas tonight. The only country that fleet visited was Babel, although it can be assumed that the Yatagarasu had an accomplice in Albas.
An accomplice? But who?
I haven't figured that out yet, but I assume it was the person who set up the shadow show. This is that the biggest clue yet to solving this case is the existence of this accomplice.
But maybe?
How's the investigation going? Nope, bad. How's the investigation going? Detective Bad, have you come to join us in investigating the Yatagarasu? I've left the murder in Agent Lang's charge. And my own target from the very and my only target from the very beginning is the Yatagarasu. So yes. So, what have you found out? I got a piece of evidence. May I see it? No, but you might regret it.
We're here because we are ready to face whatever may come. So, if you please.
When people heard the commotion, bystanders started gathering, and one woman claimed, I'm telling you, I'm a genuine international journalist. She gave me an interesting picture. A journalist? Well, actually, she's a freelance cameraman. This is the photo I got from her. What in the world?
The Yatagarasu is flying through the air?
The times they are changing. It's not just man, but evidence. Even they lie to us now. When was this photo taken? Apparently right after the files on the 4th and 5th floors were put out. It was taken from a nearby building. That you can see the embassy from. I see. So this was taken after the fire. The blur in this picture took off from the Balbese embassy, flew over the boundary, and ended with the embassy of Alabast.
Objection!
This is simply not possible. People are incapable of flight.
Is that a fact? I've had the pleasure of dealing with a case involving a flying person once.
Actually, come to think of it, I've come across a case like that as well. Two, actually.
Maybe it happens more often than we think. Am I up to the task of solving the mystery behind this photograph? Well, the Yatagarasu took off from the Balby's embassy, so we should start from there. Francesca, I need to return to the Babel investigation for a bit.
Alright. I'll continue investigating on this side of the building.
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Welcome back, Mr. Edgeworth. Now come on, let's get back to our investigation.
Yes, let's. Gonna have to do Lotta's voice, aren't I? Stop yawning. All this reading I'm doing.
To think, after all that running around, we're right back where we started.
It would appear that way.
Hi, Mr. Edgeworth.
Have you found Minnie's killer yet? I'm terribly sorry, Ambassador Polino, but I've yet to find his killer. I guess his murder really was the work of the Yatagarasu.
Let's get one thing straight. It was the work of the fake Yatagarasu. The real Yatagarasu is a noble vigilante who is only out to steal the truth.
Miss Faraday, please don't make such a sad face.
If there's anything I can do for you, all you have to do is ask, right? Mr. Polino.
Actually, there is one thing you can do. Will you allow us to take another look around? We didn't have enough time to conduct a thorough investigation earlier.
Oh, sure. Please feel free to investigate to your heart's content.
Also, there are a few questions I'd like to ask you personally, Ambassador.
If it will bring a smile back to Miss Faraday's face, then I'll gladly answer anything. Thank you, Mr. Polino. You're a total gentleman.
You don't have to waste such nice words on me, little miss.
Hey, Sir Polino.
Those two sure got chummy awfully quickly.
You know, it's easy to say we're going to investigate, but where should we begin?
We should probably start by comparing the state of this room before and after the fire. And then we should look into the matter of the suspicious person you spotted.
Yeah, when I came into this room, that person was already gone. But I'm willing to bet that the person I was chasing is Mr. Kogan's killer.
We don't know that yet. However, it's hard to believe that person is unrelated. Furthermore, because the key the Yatagarasu stole 7 years ago was found here, it signals that perhaps Miss Yu is also somehow involved.
I knew it. That woman is most definitely Mr. Kogan's killer.
Yet again, we don't know that. There are too many mysteries to be solved in this case. Speaking of the Yatagarasu and mysteries, I received a most mysterious photo from Detective Bad.
Uncle Bad? He's taking part in the investigation too?
Yes, he has been chasing after the Yatagarasu for all these years.
Uncle Bad.
Now then, I was told that this photo was taken just after the fire.
What? This kinda looks like the person in the long coat I was chasing. Does this mean that I was chasing the fake Yatagarasu after all?
I don't know the answer to your question, but I don't think people can fly either.
This could be how that person escaped.
Well, we need to investigate a bit more before we can say anything about that. In any case, let's not dawdle anymore and pick up our investigation where we left off. Now then, Ambassador, I'd like to ask you about your movements before the fire broke out.
Before the fire? Which fire are you talking about?
Which one? There was more than one tonight?
Oh, I see. I guess you didn't hear about it. We had 2 fires here at the Balbalese embassy tonight. What a bother all of that was. Wait, but the only fire we know about is the one after the Gemming Ninja show. Oh well, the first fire occurred at the start of the Gemming Ninja show. Luckily, only the 4th and 5th floors of our embassy caught on fire. Not wanting to cause a panic among the theatregoers, we decided to keep it internal.
And then the fire after the Jamming Ninja show was the second one of the night.
Exactly.
So the fire I witnessed was the second one. Come to think of it, didn't Detective Baird make reference to the first fire? When was this photo taken? Apparently right after the fires, when the 4th and 5th floors were put out. I suppose this means the photo was taken just after the first fire was put out.
So then, what was the extent of the damage in the second fire?
The second fire was contained to this floor, the 3rd floor.
I think it was leftover embers from the fires on the floors above it that caused it.
That's, how should I put this, a very bad stroke of luck. My office on the 5th floor, Manny's office here. And Manny himself, were gone in the blink of an eye.
I feel so sorry for you, Mr. Bellino.
Oops, look at me going on and on. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask? We were discussing what your actions and whereabouts for today were. And if you happen to know what Mr. Cochran's actions and whereabouts were as well.
Yes, very well. Let's see. I've been quite busy all day, from morning until now. First I woke up, then I brushed my teeth. After that I had a roll for breakfast.
Hold it!
Fascinating. How about if you just skip to the relevant parts for me?
Oh, you like Ignorance version. Alright, I can do that for you.
So what did Mr. Cochran and you do this morning?
Well, originally we were supposed to meet and shake hands with the Jamming Ninja. But Manny and I wanted to turn it into a photo op, so we were tidying up his office.
You helped clean Mr. Cochran's office? Why were you not cleaning your own?
Well, I think I forgot to mention this, but my office is currently undergoing renovations. Which is why both the Prima Duck statue and the Balbalese knife set are down here.
I see.
Oh, but the tidying didn't take much, really. We just burned some files we no longer needed, and expired coupons in the fireplace. I bet cleaning up the fireplace must have been a real pain, though. About that, I kind of forgot to clean the ashes out. I guess I'm up a creek without Manny here to get angry at me.
Hold it!
An ambassador like yourself has been on the receiving end of a secretary's anger.
Oh, he was very good at being very mad. Why, even just this morning he got mad at me. I spilled some Balbalese ink onto the back wall when I was burning the files, you see. He got mad at me, saying I should treat the ink with more respect.
Apparently orders go up the chain of command around here.
And that's about it for what we did this morning. Just some cleaning.
Don't tell me you had no other work to do, being an ambassador and all. Now then, if you could tell me what you and Mr. Cochran did this afternoon.
Well, Manny and I went down together to the Theatrum Nortrellis. We had to be there for the start of the Steel Samurai stage show. After the show started, I went back to my office on the 5th floor alone.
So, they were together until the start of the Steel Samurai show.
A little while later, after I had straightened myself up a bit, I returned to the theatre. Because I was to take part in the photo op on stage at the end of the show.
There was a commemorative photo op at the end.
It was a fantastic photo of the three of us. Ambassador Alba, the Steel Samurai, and myself. After the photo shoot, I went back to my office on the 5th floor to prepare for my handshake photo op with the jamming ninja.
He seems to be rather overworked for an ambassador.
When I got to my office, that's when the first fire broke out. I escaped down the stairs. My office was completely destroyed, but thankfully no one was hurt. I admit I ran away from the first fire as fast as my legs could carry me. But during the second one, I pitched in and helped the embassy staff put it out.
So you didn't see Mr. Cochran again after the start of the Steel Samurai show?
Yes, that's right.
Next time I saw him, he was lying there in an eternal sleep. I see. Ambassador Polino, I thank you very much for your help.
I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance, Mr. Edgeworth. If there is anything else, please don't hesitate to ask, alright?
It appears that Mr. Cochran's body has been taken in for an autopsy. The white outline is all that is left to tell the tale of his murder. It appears that this area was heavily damaged by the fire.
Yeah, I guess we should hurry up and get started examining everything.
There is a bottle of Balbly's ink on Mr. Cochran's desk.
It looks like there's still a lot of ink left inside.
The seal is unbroken, so the fire probably couldn't get into the bottle to burn up the ink.
Hey, Mr. Polino, it looks like your precious Balbly's ink is all right after all.
What? That's odd.
Hold it!
Ambassador, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's just that there is something strange about the ink.
Would you mind elaborating on that statement for me, please? I wonder if you might tell me what you noticed about Mr. Cochran's bottle of ink.
I just thought of it right now, but during the second fire, Manny was worried about his office, so he came rushing back to it. I called out to him, and when I received no reply, I used my spare key to open the door. When I did, I was greeted by roaring green flames. Flames are so big that I wasn't able to see into the room at all.
Hold it!
The fire was green? What was the cause?
Well, white crystal oil burns green when it's lit, as you can see by this lantern.
And Balby's ink is made from the same oil, which means it would also burn green.
You know, I too had thought it was Manny's ink that had caught on fire. So that's why I was surprised to find out there was still a bottle of ink left on his desk. In case of the perplexing green flames, talk about a mystery.
What exactly was it that caught on fire in here? It would appear that this desk also fell victim to the fire.
It doesn't look too damaged. Oh, I think we can rifle through this drawer a bit.
I suppose we really should take a look. This is a rather unusual shape for a notepad. I suppose this must be another souvenir from somewhere. It seems that the contents of this drawer survived the fire rather well.
Now that's a sturdy desk. I guess that's the value of solid wood construction. Let's see if there's anything useful left in here, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, yeah.
Do, 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 do.
Eureka!
The shape of this notepad matches the shape of the note we found.
Hey, you're right. What is it? Looks like something straight out of Monument Valley.
Ah, yes. That notepad is a souvenir from somewhere in your country. We've been collecting them for the purpose of studying them, you see. Yes, I do. You seem to be quite passionate about it. Oh, would you like to see my souvenir collection? I'd love to show it to you. Are you sure they haven't been burnt or crisp by the fires? Ambassador Polino, I wonder if you might recognize the handwriting on this note.
This...
Looks like Manny's handwriting. I see. In that case...
Oh, did you figure something out?
This note was found in Albast. Specifically, it was found being firmly grasped by the murdered Damas II.
Damas II? Then this note...
Yes, it was a request from Mr. Cochrane for Damas II to steal the Primadux statue.
What? Manny tried to steal Albast's Primadux statue?
We would know for sure if we could run a handwriting analysis. Ambassador, do you have any documents that were handwritten by Mr. Cochrane?
Yes. I can gather a few and give them to you.
I'll have to ask Detective Gumshoe later to run the analysis.
Can't believe that Manny would even think of doing something like this.
Do you have any idea as to why he would have requested the theft of the statue?
There's one possibility.
But mind you, it's just my personal speculation. Anything you can tell me would be of great help, Ambassador. I believe that you said you might have an idea as to why Mr. Cochrane hired Damas II. Actually, fear it may have been my fault. As I was telling you earlier, we were to determine which statue was the real one as a part of today's event.
But because of the Atagarasu and the fire here, that got cancelled, didn't it?
I'm actually relieved the rest of the event has been cancelled. You see, Babel's statue, well, it's just a replica. Did Mr. Cochrane know that about Babel's Primadux statue?
Of course he knew. That's why he was the only person I could consult with. He'd had to do something once our statue was revealed as a replica. As to be expected, I was very nervous today, as this would impact our country's authority.
Yes, I understand.
Well, when I told Manny my concerns, he said, "Let me handle it. It'll be all right. I'll find a way to make sure you're the ambassador of the reunited Cadofia." At the time I thought he was just trying to cheer me up. But when I saw that note, I realized he was serious.
Hold it!
Mr. Cochrane conducted a lot of business behind your back. I assume he did all that to ensure that you are the next Cadofian ambassador.
But why was he trying so hard, I wonder? He was so much better at getting things done than I ever was or will be.
I don't know the answer to why he was trying so hard yet. And I suspect he had an ulterior motive in mind beyond just simple kindness.
Oh, here you are, Mr. Edgeworth.
Detective Gumshoe, have you collected the information that I requested?
Yep, got it all right here, sir. Here, okay. Feel free to take a look. It's for you, after all.
What is all this, Gummy?
It's all the information on this room that I got from the embassy and Interpol people. There. Now we know exactly how this room was before and after the fire.
Good work, Detective.
Oh, it was nothing, sir. I'm an expert at getting people to talk.
Wow, you two remind me so much of my father and Uncle Bad.
What do you mean?
As prosecutor and detective, your dynamic is just like theirs back in the day. Don't you worry, I'm going to find my own wonderful partner someday. And when I do, I'm going to become a good Yatagarasu just like my father, right?
Hold it!
Please don't ask me questions to which I have no answers to, Kay. However, I can say that it is truly a wonderful thing to find a partner you can trust.
You bet. So, what now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, I'd like to ask you for a favour.
Yes?
That gadget, Mr. Thief, isn't it? Is it? That thing you call your secret weapon.
Oh, you mean Little Thief? Heh, you're coming to rely on it, aren't you?
Hold it!
I don't need a crutch like that. I'm only asking because I need it for the investigation. All the information Detective Gumshoe gathered and the ambassador's testimony, I'd like you to please recreate this room as it was during the third floor fire.
You got it. Alright, here we go. Dark skies of evening, where no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood.
It seems there are other things besides what the ambassador mentioned that have changed. It's possible that we might find the escape route the person Kay saw used as well.
What is this? Is it some sort of light show I was not told about? This is the power of a true vigilante. It's recreating the room with the info I inputted.
Really? That is certainly one interesting device you have there, Miss Faraday. I believe it's about time we return to our investigation. This grandfather clock. It was apparently in a different position before the fire.
According to the staff members, the clock was flush against the wall before the fire, sir.
Which means that most likely it was moved by someone during the fire.
Speaking of which, it's totally 11 o'clock now, but I didn't hear any chiming.
Huh? That's odd. It was still chiming right on the dot of every hour this morning.
Maybe the fire damaged its internal mechanisms or something?
Ambassador Polino, may we take a look inside that clock?
Sure, go ahead.
Go right on ahead. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please inspect the inside of this clock.
Yes, sir. I'm on it. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I found this inside, sir.
It looks like a length of wire. So this is what caused the clock to stop chiming. What was a long length of wire doing inside this clock in the first place?
Why would someone do this to such a valuable clock? Sounds like it wasn't Mr. Polino that put the wire in there.
Then perhaps it was Mr. Cochran's killer who did. These must have been the large green flames Ambassador Polino saw.
With flames like these, it's no wonder he couldn't get in.
Okay, by the time you came into this room, had the fire already been put out?
Yeah, the fire had died out or something by that time.
Then this fire in here only burned from the time the fire started, on the 3rd floor. Until the Atagarasso appeared and caused a stir and babble, I suppose.
Guess Mr. Polino was just lucky enough to run into this fire as it was burning, huh?
Yes, you could put it that way. And since you were the first to discover the body, we can assume that no one else entered the room until that time. No one other than the person you were chasing, of course.
I knew it. That person I saw was definitely up to no good. I mean, that person could even be Mr. Koken's killer.
That is very likely to be the case. After all, that person came into this room before you, and must have chosen this room precisely because they knew no one would be in here.
Okay, then maybe the green fire was where it was to prevent anyone from coming in. But then, what did the person set on fire to make the green flames?
Well, whatever it is, that person burned. It made a rather sizable fire.
Since the fire's green, well, we've seen something that burns green, right? It's a bit thinner than these flames, but you get what I mean.
Yes, and I do believe that's what you are thinking is exactly why these flames are green. Which fire-related piece of evidence burns the same color as these green flames?
Take that!
And this silhouette lantern, its green flame comes from the white crystal oil it's burning.
Yeah, that's the fire I was thinking of too. I love the green it gives off.
I think we've now established that the green flames were caused by white crystal oil. Furthermore, we know that there is only one other thing made from white crystal oil.
Oh, you mean that thing Mr. Polino was mistaken about, right?
Yes, precisely. As we found out earlier in our investigation.
What? I don't get it. Can you fill me in, sir?
Fine, I suppose. I'll explain it in a way that even you can understand. This is the thing made from white crystal oil that Ambassador Polino was mistaken about.
Take that!
Albie's ink is made from white crystal oil.
Oh, so it should burn the same colour as the flames in the lantern, right?
Yes, precisely. However, the green flames in this room were not from the bottle of Balby's ink.
Because we found the ink Mr. Koken used on his desk, right?
Yes. However, we know that Mr. Koken was smuggling the ink in massive quantities. Now, what do you suppose he made using all that ink? I believe what he made with that ink is the answer to what gave birth to the green flames.
Oh yeah, I'm beginning to really feel the energy coming from you, Mr. Edgeworth.
It would appear that I finally found it. The smuggling ring's real goal. Made of Balby's ink, this is the source of the green flames.
Take that!
What would consume that great of a volume of ink to make? That would be the counterfeit bills that the smuggling ring made and are circulating in Zhengfa.
You're kidding. You're saying that it was Mr. Koken who made the counterfeit bills?
I am. I believe you could even go so far as to say that he stole Babel's printing press. Ambassador Koken had permission to freely use the printing press, correct?
Why, yes. But I do remember seeing him using it in the middle of the night. But never did I think he was using it for such a foul deed.
Ambassador, because of your secretary's crimes, you will need to be investigated as well.
Yes, I suppose so. We've caused a bit of trouble for a few countries, haven't we?
It's my duty to search out all who shielded Mr. Gogren and concealed his crime. But they are the ones who started the fire in order to destroy the evidence.
It looks like one of the Barbie's knives was already missing before the fire began.
So it would seem, especially since the other two knives handles were burned away.
The remaining handle was swapped out with the handle from the real murder weapon. Babel's national treasure was stolen. Poor Babel, don't you think?
I'm not sure I would lump the replica statue in with the rest of Babel's woes. It's the charred remains of a fallen ceiling fan.
Oh, I've seen a few of these before. It's been around and around and play music.
I believe you're thinking of a music mobile for babies,
Yes, that's it.
but they're nothing alike.
They're totally alike. They spin those babies right around like a record.
I see. I guess I can see how you might think that.
So, Babel is really into pushing the tourism industry, huh?
Yes, it would appear that way.
You know, I'd really love to take a trip. Hey, why don't we take one after this case?
Do you already have a destination in mind?
Well, ideally I'd like to go someplace where I can continue my thief training.
Well, if you want to learn the fine art of stealth, perhaps you should visit this studio where they make the Jamming Ninja TV show.
That's actually a really great idea, Mr. Edgeworth.
Can't believe she took me seriously. A fireplace, huh? So Bevel's offices have them too.
Yeah?
There is a fireplace in relatively the same location in the Albastian office. However, we found something there that I'd rather not recall ever again. I still can't believe that we found that undershirt in the fireplace.
It was that traumatizing. Why don't you try creating new memories with this fireplace? You can climb inside and we can play hide and seek.
And come out covered in soot? I think not.
You really have no sense of fun, Mr. Edgeworth.
That looks like a very comfortable chair.
Well, it doesn't look all that broken. So why don't you try sitting in it?
No, I better not. It's very important that we preserve the crime scene at all times.
Wait, but you're always touching all sorts of things at crime scenes.
And that's because I'm a prosecutor, and it's a part of my job to examine things.
My job is to be a great thief.
Which is exactly why you are not allowed to touch anything. You can see the Albastian embassy through this window.
So where were you when you were investigating over there, Mr. Edgeworth?
You can see it from here. I was there on the 5th floor.
That's where the Master II was killed.
That's where the Master II was killed.
What? You don't mean the Master II? Ah, poor guy. As a fellow second-generation thief, I can't turn a blind eye to this.
Even though the Master II was merely an impostor of the original. Detective, you took part in the initial Babel investigation, right?
Yep, sure did. Also helped put out both fires, sir. But that first fire took me by surprise. I had a tough time escaping the 5th floor. First I tried the elevator, but I guess someone else had the same idea because it was in use. I hadn't remembered to use the stairs at that point. Thought I'd have been burnt to a crisp.
Wait, that's odd. We always warn our staff that in case of a fire, it's dangerous to use the elevator. Maybe someone rode in it in a fit of panic.
Detective, did you see the Yatagarasu that came into the Balbli's embassy at all?
Oh, I didn't personally. And the other staff members told me they never got a good look at the person either.
I wonder if you could tell me a bit more about what you discovered, Detective.
A second fire broke out around the time the Yatagarasu was spotted in Albast. That's also when a suspicious person was spotted in Babel, which caused some panic.
Hold it!
So, no one was able to get a good look at this Yatagarasu that entered Babel.
Yeah, all they saw was a...
Let's knock something over.
Yeah, all they saw was a mysterious person wearing a long coat. Well, that's not enough to make a positive ID, you know.
Well, it was enough to make the people who received the calling card panic even more.
Person in a long coat. Sounds like the exact same person I saw.
And the Yatagarasu that appeared in Albast was proven to be just a fabrication, a shadow. In light of that fact, the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babel is also suspect.
You can't be serious. Not women this close to capturing the fake. I mean, Callisto, you.
So, the Yatagarasu appeared, caused mass confusion, killed Mr. Cochran and then disappeared. By the way, Detective, why did you not chase after the Yatagarasu?
I did, but, well, this embassy is huge, sir. I got separated from the other staff members I was with, and was lost for a while there.
Hold it!
You didn't even memorize the layout of the building you were to guard, Detective.
Oh, I'll be sure to do that from now on, sir. Well, you know, it was thanks to me being lost that I was able to come to Kay's rescue.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah, it was when I was lost and wandering around in the third floor hallway, sir. When I heard a scream, I headed toward it right away.
Oh, that's probably from when I found Mr. Cochran's body.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like her, so I got real worried and ran as fast as I could.
It was thanks to Gummy that Miss Shinna wasn't able to take me away. You covered for me until you got here, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, I see. So you can be useful once in a blue moon.
Still, it's too bad that Agent Sheena got here before I did.
I wonder where Agent Sheena was before you found her here.
Well, just before I got to this room, I saw her coming out of the room next door.
Agent Sheena mentioned something about chasing the Yatagarasu herself earlier.
Well, she apparently helped in putting out the first fire. Then during the second fire, I heard she was busy chasing the Yatagarasu.
She seems to be a very dedicated agent. You will do well to learn from her.
Why are you pointing at me when you say that, sir?
We've examined everything in this office, but there is one thing that bothers me. Perhaps I should ask Ambassador Polino about it. Ambassador Polino, there is something I'd like to ask you about.
Yes?
About this office. It appears to me to be very similar to Ambassador Alba's office. For example, the location of the fireplace and the position of the ground roller block.
Ah, that's right. You've also paid a visit to the Albastian side of the embassy. The two embassies actually used to be one.
Yes, I know. Even the pamphlet mentioned that.
Which is why the building is bilaterally symmetrical. So no matter which room the location of the fireplace, like are exactly the same. Even where the art is located is the same, as my room is currently under renovation. We worked hard to make Manny's room look like the ambassador's office. You mean for your handshake photo with the jamming ninja? Yes, that's right. I mean, what's a photo like that worth if it's not taken in the ambassador's office, right?
Yet another odd expression of Powell's obsessive competitive spirit with our best, I take it. Thank you, Ambassador. That piece of information is all I needed to connect the dots.
Connect what dots? Well, anyway, I'm glad I was able to be of some help.
The Albastian and Balby sides of the buildings are symmetrical to each other. As we know that to be a fact, then this room's fireplace may also hide a secret passageway.
A secret passageway?
In Albus, the fireplace turned out to have a revolving back wall.
Revolving wall? It sounds like something out of a ninja house.
Well, was a trick like that built into the fireplace, sir?
What? This embassy holds that kind of secret?
There seems to be a lot about this room that you don't know about, Ambassador.
I guess it's time to pay the bill for letting Manny do so much work for me. Please, I really want to know about the real Manny and what you know about this room. What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Let's get to the bottom of this.
Agreed. And my thirst thought is that it's likely the killer used the revolving fireplace.
It looks like just another fireplace though, doesn't it? So how do you turn it again?
In Albus, I had to push where the X was on the far wall of the fireplace.
Oh, I see an X back there. So, let's see what happens when I push it.
Hold it!
You scared me, sir.
And there is something about this fireplace that lies in contradiction to the facts.
You found an X where you thought there'd be one, right?
We did. But that's not what I was referring to. Something is missing from this scene. What does this contradiction mean for us?
This.
Ambassador Polino, you said that you burned some old files in this fireplace today, correct?
Yes, I burned quite a few files this morning, actually.
And after you did, you forgot to clean out the ashes from the fireplace, correct?
That's right. Why are you asking? Why are you making such a scary face?
I'm sorry. I admit I am a bit intimidating when I'm serious. In any case, take a good look at this fireplace and tell me what you find odd about it.
Let's see. Huh? Where did all the ashes go? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, you don't really think that Ambassador Polino is lying, do you?
No, there is no reason for him to lie. And I don't believe his testimony is wrong either. It is the fireplace that is causing the contradiction. Hey, I wonder if you might update the fireplace data for me.
You got it. I'll add in the ashes from the burnt files and... Sounds like we've pretty much figured everything out now, huh?
Well, it was nothing. All I did was follow where our leads led us.
Oh, I sense it coming on. You're about to dazzle us again, right?
Oh, you mean that? Well, it's what Mr. Edgeworth is known for, you know.
There's really no need for you two to dance around the name of what I'm about to do. The reason as to why the ashes are missing is simple.
Not because someone cleaned them up, right?
No, because even if someone did sweep them up, the fireplace is too clean for that. Ambassador Polino said that he spilled some Balby's ink while he was burning the files. And yet, there is not a trace of the spilled ink on the back wall anywhere.
Well then, I don't know what happened.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. The two sides were switched. By using the revolving fireplace wall, the ashes were moved into the neighbouring room, which means that this is a clear indication that the fireplace was used.
Then, you mean, the person I was chasing disappeared from this room through there?
Yes, I believe the person you're in pursuit of is Mr. Cochrane's killer, and after committing the murder escaped through the fireplace.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, you figured out the killer's escape route.
I have, but this is only the beginning. Now we have to chase the killer down. If the killer used the fireplace in this room to escape into the next, then it's only logical for us to talk with the person who was in the neighbouring room.
Well, the person that was in the next room was... Oh, it was that person, sir.
Yes, Detective. Agent Sheena.
It's looking more and more like Miss Sheena as the killer, isn't it?
Let's not jump to conclusions yet. We need to go through what we know so far. She came running straight into this room from the next one and instantly accused you. Furthermore, she claimed that it could only have been you that killed Mr. Cochrane. I don't have any proof yet. However, I know she is hiding something from us.
Okay then, why don't we go ask Miss Sheena herself?
Hold it!
No, not yet. There's something that needs to be done first. Detective Gumshoe.
So, is it my turn to do something, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes. I have a two-part special assignment for you. First, I need you to run a handwriting analysis on DeMartha II's note.
Oh, okay, I'll get the lab boys on that right away.
Second, I want you to see if you can fit through the revolving fireplace wall.
Right now, sir?
No, next decade. Of course now! We need to test our hypothesis first, don't we?
Go on, Gummy, you can do it.
Alright, I'm gonna do this like a real man. Here I go, through the fireplace and back.
You shouldn't need to psych yourself up that much for such a simple task, Detective.
Wow, the wall inside the fireplace really did turn.
That's so neat. Now I want to try going through there too. There really is a secret passageway through there. I had no idea. It would appear that the ash really was pulled into the other room, pushed into the other room. Furthermore, the Malby's ink you spilled, Ambassador, is there on the back wall.
Okay, here I go, sir.
Hold it!
Detective, I'd like you to go through there under the same conditions as the killer.
But there's all that ash and stuff.
And your point is? Now, we're short on time, so if you could please hurry on through.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we pretty much have the whole picture, right?
No, not yet. There remains a few more mysteries to solve, such as the Yatta Garrison's whereabouts and the other smuggling ring members. The two weapons that made it across the border, the key Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. In fact, we haven't figured out a thing regarding how Miss Yu is related to these embassies.
Mr. Edgeworth.
A number of pieces connect in a very complicated way in this case. It's almost enough to make one completely mentally exhausted.
What are you saying, Mr. Edgeworth? I thought you were the one who said it's easy if you follow the leads.
Was that supposed to be an impression of me, Kay?
If it's info gathering you need, Gummy and I can help with that. Then all you have to do is show off your fancy smanchy logical deductions.
Show off? Does it seem like I'm being boastful when I do that?
Let's not overcomplicate matters, okay, Mr. Edgeworth? You've been so focused like a laser on only what seems strange and out of place. It's no wonder nothing's clicked and we haven't unlocked anything yet. If we think things through calmly, the answers should come to us.
Okay.
That's the sort of thing I say to myself. But I'm practicing how to unlock padlocks, you know.
And that is something that I hope practice doesn't make perfect, for your sake.
Yay, looks like you're back to your straight-laced self again.
Oh, hey, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm back, sir.
Yes, I can see that. Good work, Detective.
Looks like you can use that fireplace like a door, sir.
Are you alright, Gummy?
I'm okay. It's just a bit of ash and dust, that's all.
Your jacket has gotten quite filthy. I see the hammer's practically turned black.
Yeah, well, quite a bit of the unburned ink got on it, sir.
I see. Thank you, Detective. You did a fine job. I'll even pay the cleaning bill for the trench coat.
Oh, what? Oh, no, sir. I could never. This is just my old coat, sir. If it was a coat I actually cared about, then I'd get it clean, but, you know.
I see. Very well then, as you wish.
So because Gummy was able to climb through the fireplace, we know it can be used, right?
Yes. But that's not all we learned. We actually learned one other important fact.
And that is?
I'll have to explain it to you later. Right now we need to deal with the handwriting analysis, Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, sir. I'll be back before you know it.
The handwriting analysis on Mr. Cochran's handwriting will take a bit of time. Let us go and wait in the Theatrum Nautilus, along with Agent Lang and Agent Shinner. Agent Lang. Lang's says, Little cubs never do they know the real fury of the outer wall. Those quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. And what does that mean? It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get. Mr. Prosecutor. The counterfeit bills made with Barbie's ink. They were all of Zhang Fen denominations. Yes, so I heard from Miss Von Karma.
But we don't know where the play money has gone.
We must not have figured out it was all burned yet. Since those things showed up in circulation, our country's economy has taken a big hit. Zheng Fa is in financial chaos as we speak, because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. And it's not just the money. Citizens are also worried. I've staked the honour of the House of Lang on this, and I've come to this land to capture the mastermind behind this whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made, and how the ink was smuggled into Zheng Fa. And I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, someone got to him first. Now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lang, Don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight.
No. It is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Quackus, you fool! Curse your empty brain!
Hey, you're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Sheena, let's go. Time to return to our den.
Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but to go home as well.
Agent Lang, a moment.
You, movie man and the secretary lady! Hold it! Objection, pal!
Detective Gumshoe? Have you got the results of the handwriting analysis done already?
Yep, and this note was definitely written by Mr. Cochran, sir.
Just as I thought. Good work, Detective. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold us up for? Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something if you don't mind.
Yes.
How exactly did you fail to see the Atagarasu? When you were in the neighbouring room to where Mr. Cochran was killed. I'd like you to explain that to us. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. What are you doing asking her about something she didn't see? Agent Lang hasn't touched the palpable investigation yet at all. So I suppose I will need to explain a few things to him first.
Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours.
The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth.
It sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well. I'll supervise you until the end.
Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day? You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you? I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see. I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end. It would appear that way. Well, I'll prove her innocence, so let's see what you got, Prosecutor Edgeworth. With pleasure. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babel, and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony? You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw? That's right. That person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu. Pretended? And what do you mean by that? I'll get to that in a second. But first I want to review what this person Kay saw did. Hey, if you could please explain what the person you were chasing did for us.
Okay, you got it. I first spotted the suspicious person next to the open-air stage on the Balby side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase.
For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor.
Andy. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Balby's embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Cochran's office. He gave chase and ran into the room. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light, but then... Ah! Who's there? By the time I had turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared.
When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose that was, Agent Lang? What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness. Sorry, but I know for a fact that the person didn't escape through that door. Oh, and how do you know that with such certainty? Well, that's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through that door, they would have run right into this person.
Take that!
Your answer is Sheena? Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Cochran's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Sheena, who was in the next room over. Agent Sheena, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question?
No, I didn't see anyone.
You see? Therefore the Yatagarasu could not have. It just means that the creep slipped out before Sheena made it out into the hallway. I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway, a certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time?
Me, sir? When I heard Kay scream, I ran towards Mr. Cochran's office from the opposite direction of Agent Sheena, sir.
So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route.
Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth. You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened.
Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well. of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken. I get it. So that's what you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you were trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out. Precisely.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out with our revolving fireplace rule explanation, right?
No, not quite yet.
But why? I thought this would be the perfect time.
The revolving wall on the Balbier's side is known only to 4 people. And if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end. What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics? Nothing if the sword engine rang. Come, let's continue where we left off. That smug, haughty attitude of yours, you really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that. Well, no matter. I figured you out already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape? I guess Detective Bird must have filled him in on this photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible. Now I realise you may not know this, but humans can't fly. Of course I know that. That's bloody common sense. Besides, I never said I thought that the photo to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route. I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself. The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kay was chasing after. You can say whatever you like in whatever language you want. But there's only one language I really understand. The language of evidence. Very well then. I present you proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one in this photo.
Take that!
Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kay saw. Kay spotted the Yatagarasu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire.
Yeah, way to go. That's twice you've bit him in the butt now.
We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you? Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet. As I thought. However, the Yatagarasu's escape route, now that I can answer. You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on, enlighten me. Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Albastian investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Malby side of the case. So wouldn't it be best if the lead on that side, Agent Sheena, explained in my stead? Sheena is my subordinate. I don't stick up for her. How can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss?
Lang, it's all right. I can take care of him.
Sheena.
You've shielded me a lot as my boss. And it's time for me to prove my worth.
Alright. If you're okay with it, then you have my support. Finally, it's down to just Agent Sheena and myself. This is where the battle really begins.
Now then, what is it you'd like to ask?
let's start. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Barbie's embassy?
During the first Barbie's fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babel. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say. I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cochrane's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony.
Good. Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation?
No, I moved alone.
In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi. Is that correct? Are you calling her suspicious because she is in a room by herself? How pathetic. And it wasn't when Agent Sheila tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale? And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner?
Nothing that's unexpected. I'm not useless enough to get into such a situation. Also, I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected.
I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation.
You should apologise right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal.
I'm sorry. Sheena, apologise.
I'm sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, I never doubted you, not for 1 second. And the same goes for me. I believe in Sheena. Then let's put that to the test and see if she really is really worthy of your trust.
This promises to be interesting.
Hold it!
So you helped with the fire extinguishing effort?
I was in charge of the police on the Balby side, so I helped them with their work.
Police doing the job of firemen. You really know how to work people. She sure does. That's because she's one awesome woman who knows how to manage.
Yes, so she's always bringing you a business card or a scroll at just the right time. To prepare everything before I'm ordered to. That is the definition of a secretary.
She kind of seems more capable than Agent Lang, doesn't she?
At the very least, she's certainly more capable than you, Detective.
Oh, I kind of had a feeling you were going to say that.
Sheena's more than just a capable secretary, you know. Sheena, tell them what other things you're good at.
All right.
Hold it!
By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the third floor of Babel, correct?
Yes. That was when the suspicious person was spotted in Babel. Then you were after the same person in the long coat that I was after. There is no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagarasu, because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face.
By the way, how was your team's investigation?
In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the third floor via the windows. So the majority of the investigators conducted their searches on other floors.
Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the 3rd floor.
When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the 3rd floor.
And you did that alone?
Yes.
Hold it!
So you were in the room next to Mr. Cochran's office.
I already told you I was earlier, as I was examining the neighbouring room. I heard that girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Cochran's office.
Wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall.
Yes, I did.
She was totally innocent, pal. I thought we had already cleared that up.
And I thought I had already apologized for my behavior. Now if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet.
Ugh.
I have to agree. Right now is not the time to take issue with that.
Oh, you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
But what I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Yatagarasu agent, Sheena.
The prosecutors of this country are all so strange.
Hold it!
You were unable to catch even a glimpse, despite being in the next room. Is that true?
I really hate to repeat myself.
I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Are you calling Shina's testimony a lie? Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent Shina right now. So I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments.
You know, I feel kind of bad for him.
I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes away from the truth. Turn my eyes from the truth.
Lang, I'm alright. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me.
And why is that?
Hold it!
Are you throwing Kay's words into doubt again?
Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down the Yatagarasu, despite being just an average citizen.
Naturally, she came here with the goal of capturing the fake Yatagarasu.
That's right, which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu. I suppose you have proof of that somewhere? Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me, and that's enough. I see.
Kay's testimony was without flaw, but as for yours, well, let's just say that I find your testimony to be a bit suspicious. There seems to be a very large flaw in our testimony.
Oh, then why don't you show her using what we found out with Little Thief?
I will, in due time. The escape route of the Yatagarasu that Kay was in pursuit of. If it turns out that it really does lead right to Agent Shina, then what is it that she is keeping from us right now?
Objection!
Being in the room next to Mr. Cochran's office is the problem with your testimony.
Knuckle back!
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all. Agent Lang, Do you recall the secret we discovered about the Albastian office fireplace? Oh, you mean how it connects to the office with the room next door? What about it? Well, Albast isn't the only country with secret connecting fireplaces. What? The fireplace in Mr. Cochran's office holds the exact same secret. What? The Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Now do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run straight into Agent Sheena. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu.
That is the meaning of this, Miles.
Well, would you care to explain, Agent Sheena? How you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu? Or shall I? Your claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is, you were the one Kay saw in the coat, pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were the one she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Cochran's office and headed for the fireplace. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent Sheena. After that, you came back around to place Kay under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now, or forever hold your peace.
How dare you make Kay look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one, pal?
Sheena? That laugh.
I remember this irritating laugh.
I'm getting chills down my spine.
It can't be. And it has to be.
Sheena, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It was so funny that I couldn't help but laugh.
Funny, you say?
Yes. And that you would accuse me of being the Yatagarasu. The prosecutors of this country really are all so very strange. Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off? You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is. No. Everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. The Yatagarasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagarasu's escape route.
The tone of voice you're taking with me now has certainly changed.
That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think I'll let loose, and we can have a real battle of wits.
For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it is a great honor.
Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know.
I know, and that is why I won't hold anything back either as I answer your question.
My question?
Here is your proof that the revolving fireplace wall in Babel was used recently.
Take that!
I'm sorry, but is this really your honest answer to my question?
Yes, According to Ambassador Polino's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Cochrane.
Oh,
The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there.
why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Polino said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatakarasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Cochrane's office is my proof. And just what is so funny?
Ash as proof? Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? You still wish to fight us? Of course. Why wouldn't I?
In that case, let's hear your counter-argument.
My counter-argument, huh? This really is just like being in court.
Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter if we're at the crime scene or in court. Let's finish this here and now.
I suppose. I've had a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. In my eyes, all that you proved is that the rotating fireplace was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatakarasu used the fireplace. Now, can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cochrane's office. And there you have it, my counter-argument.
That's very impressive. You see through the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence.
What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now.
If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But
Kay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatakarasu name, are you not? If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off of it. In this chase you're running to catch the truth, you must see it through to the very end.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're right, I will see this through to the end. So, you could get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth.
With pleasure.
Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it?
Sheena, please, show me you're someone I can trust.
Don't worry, this will be the deciding match. You'll see.
I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sheena. Shall we begin?
I'm ready whenever you are.
Hold it!
It sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough.
Well, but I was able to go through the revolving door myself. So that should be proof enough even for you, pal.
It looks like you don't quite understand. By your looks, I can guess that you're not all that learned.
Ouch. Talk about rude. You should watch what you say, pal.
Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one.
But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven that the fireplace was used.
Hold it!
So you want proof that Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace?
That's right. Well, do you have any? Can you prove that it wasn't the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace? I don't need to prove anything to you. Objection!
Hold it!
Okay, if you could please not steal my line.
Sorry, but I just couldn't hold it in anymore.
No, don't fret. Leave that to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch.
You seem to have some wiggle room, but without any evidence, it's meaningless.
Hold it!
It's possible that the Yatagarasu left fingerprints inside the fireplace.
Sorry, but I had the forensics team check that already. All they found were prints belonging to Ambassador Polino and Mr. Cochrane.
Curses. I should have known better than to think the Yatagarasu would have been so careless. There must be some sort of evidence that we still have yet to find.
I take it you have no further objections.
Hold it!
So Interpol has finished examining the entire Malmesian embassy.
Yes, the investigators who were allowed into Albus were incredibly helpful. They all put in great efforts to search for any sign of the Yatagarasu.
Objection!
And yet, despite all that effort, it appears that they failed to notice the lack of ash in the office fireplace. Furthermore, you were the one who inspected the room next to Mr. Cochrane's room, correct? I didn't notice the ash there in the fireplace of that room, and for that, I am sorry.
You don't need to apologize, Shina. As your boss, your mistakes are my mistakes. So allow me to apologize to you. For you. I'm sorry.
No, maybe this guy's not such a bad guy after all.
He apologizes for his subordinates and everything. What a great boss.
Are you saying that I don't do anything for my own subordinates?
Oh, nothing of the sort, sir. You're someone I really respect, sir. Even if you are a bit too strict sometimes.
That is only a problem on your end.
Wow, way to be super hard on him in response.
Am I really too strict on everyone? Anyway, Shina, you didn't find anything in Mr. Cochrane's office, right?
That's right. We finished our investigation.
Hold it!
So you really didn't find anything?
Yes, as I said, not one suspicious thing. Although, as you already know, we did find the Yatagarasu's key and document detailing the smuggling operation. But we still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Balby's knife handle yet.
You see, my subordinate worked hard to investigate everything. So there was nothing else to find, alright?
Wow, Agent Lang really sticks up for his people.
Lang Zi says, all men are brothers, and friends become family. So you see, my people are my family, and their families are my family too.
That's a rather large family you have there.
Yes, but as we all know, there's always one black sheep in any family. Although it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your family.
So, do you actually have any proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace passageway?
No, haven't found any yet.
What are we going to do?
There's no need to worry. Because there is a loophole in Miss Interpol agent's argument we can exploit first. The one in charge of the Balbees investigation was not Agent Lang, which means that with Agent Shino in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence. That piece of evidence that we found. There's one thing I do know. It is that someone tried to hide it from us. Wire.
Objection!
While you say that you and your agents have finished your thorough investigation, are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything?
Well, aren't we full of ourselves, standing there insulting Interpol agents?
You better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor. I never do that. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire.
And what exactly is this supposed to mean?
The length of wire. So what about it? I'll tell you what. We found this in the Balbees embassy not long ago. What? And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cochran's office.
You found that at the scene of Mr. Cochran's murder?
But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing. There's more. In Mr. Cochran's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there.
What in the...
Yeah.
That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right? So what if it was? That's what I thought. But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills?
No.
You see, so there was nothing in that office. Nothing you can call evidence anyway.
Objection!
I'm sorry, but it seems to have given you the wrong impression.
How so?
I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort, but rather I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Atagarasu.
You still suspect me, I see. Right then, I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete.
The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Shino. And is it not possible that the reason the person K was chasing close chose the third door was because that person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Shino was only pretending to investigate the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there is one location that no one has yet to inspect. Your team's investigation was incompetent because they failed to investigate this location.
Take that!
A location Agent Shino is, of course, the room you claim to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Cochran's office warrants a thorough inspection.
Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there.
I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe?
Yes, sir. I'm on it. I'll be right back after I check out that room next to the office.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. you really think that Miss Shino is the Yatagarasu?
Yes. If my logic is sound, I believe she is.
Then I'm not going to let her get away ruining the name of the Yatagarasu. But can you prove that she's the Yatagarasu in question?
If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to.
And just what are you hoping he'll find?
Let's just say this. I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier.
An experiment? As if that detective has the brains for high science.
It wasn't that mentally taxing. I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu.
And what did you find out by doing that?
First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in ash and Balbesian ink.
Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway.
Ah, but is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove.
Mr. Edgeworth, I found some things you really need to see, sir.
Oh, so what are these things that you found?
Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person I was chasing was wearing.
Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Sheena, were these pieces of evidence not in that room when you examined it?
Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room.
Oh,
Thank you for bringing them to me. It saves me a trip. May I have them back now?
Hold it!
These items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them.
They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission.
Objection!
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation. But if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this. I say let them look at your stuff, Sheena.
Lang,
Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right?
I guess so. Alright, go ahead and examine whatever you'd like. After all, I have nothing to hide.
Good. Now let us begin.
so which of Agent Sheena's belongings are you going to examine, sir?
Let's examine the coat.
Yes, sir.
It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly. Agent Sheena. The Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing a coat. And I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace.
No, you have it wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire.
And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat?
Oh, I didn't realise that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with soot when I was helping with the fire. I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie?
Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace.
Which I can.
What? No.
You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe.
Me, sir? What did I do?
In this coat, this is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I had been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. And thanks to you, you proved that going through the fireplace would sully the coat.
Oh, I don't quite get what you're saying, but well, I'm happy for the praise, sir.
All that remains is for us to show that the dark substance on the coat hem is. Show what the dark substance on the coat hem is. Oh, and you think you can do that? Of course I can. And this is the dark substance that solid the hem of this coat.
Take that!
Babbly's ink? Yes, this is what will prove that the code went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Polino, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning. You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again. My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on the coat turns out to be Balbely's ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace. Sorry to clip some of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet. But you have no way of proving whether or not this is Balbely's ink on the coat, Oh, but I do, and I intend to show you that it is ink in a few seconds. How? How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I will prove the dark substance on the coat is Balbely's ink. You can find out whether that is Balbely's ink or not by lighting it on fire. And that's how you're going to prove it's Balbely's ink. Yes. If you could please cut a section of the dark stained area for me, I'd appreciate it. Because I will show you, here and now, what the dark substance is. Sheena, sorry to do this, but I'm going to have to cut off a bit of your coat. Go ahead. I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway. Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something. Okay, I've got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs. And then if you could please have one, okay? We can get this experiment underway. The flame. It's the same color as the flame's white crystal oil produces, which means Balbely's ink is a product of white crystal oil, and when lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing. Mishina, you're the fake Yatagarasu. The one who killed my father. It's about time you came clean, Agent Sheena. Or should I say, Callisto you. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. You're not serious, are you? Do I look like the joking type to you? Callisto you. I've never heard that name before in my life. And that manner of speaking, and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years.
You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday, and then tried to frame me for it.
Oh, really? And you have proof? You insist that I am this Callisto you woman, but you can't prove it. If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me.
Objection!
The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true ugly form to the world. Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto you? I do. And something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years. Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, okay. Well, we have finally come to the end. We'll prove her to be Callisto you with this, and clip this Yatagarazu's wings for good.
Take that!
This perfume This will prove you to be Callisto Yu.
It will.
Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle. This belonged to Miss Yu just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on here as well.
This is a bottle of perfume you spilled, which I've preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Brain Faraday, that if stored under the right conditions, the fingerprint can be preserved for decades. Which means that your fingerprints are still on here, every last one.
We can clear everything up if we were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Sheena. Will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test?
Oh my god, that was a good look.
Looks like you've seen right through me yet again. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth.
Callisto, you.
So you've shown your true face at last. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than that time 7 years ago.
Sheena, you're...
Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, kind-hearted idiot of a man.
So you were a spy all along. A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after. Someone who has been feeding them Intel on Interpol all this time.
Very good. Maybe you're not as big as of an idiot as I thought. Callisto, you, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago. You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu. That's right. Callisto, you. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief Yatagarasu.
Callisto, you. This time you won't escape. This is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly.
You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might never have known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was.
Okay, don't.
I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father. You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too, possessed such laughable honesty.
Kay!
Oh, you let Kay go right now, pal.
You despicable. Let go of me, you filthy... You think I'm a fake, don't you? And unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. But that's impossible. My father was the one who created Little Thief. Hey, Edgeworth. The Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Why it has 3 legs? There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be 1 step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. No, it can't be.
Did you finally figure it out? Do you know the real identity of the Yatagarasu?
The real identity of the Yatagarasu is... The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Brain Faraday nor Callisto U. But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu.
How very perceptive of you. No way!
A single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed.
Mr. Edgeworth? No. I refuse to believe this.
The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of a client corporations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. Detective Bird. It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind. Because the lead detective on the case hid it all away.
You're the third member of the Yatagarasu?
You. I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years. But I finally got you.
Why, Mr. Bad, long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. You were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why indeed? It was nothing personal, really. It was just another person I had to kill. How can you say that? I grow weary of this, and it's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time I won't miss.
Stop!
You... Kay.
It's over, Sheena.
Your leg.
Agent Wang. You idiot. What were you thinking jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? No, I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her, not even from you.
You really are an idiot. You know that?
It's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey sis,
Yes?
I want you to conduct a full body search. Shino might have another weapon on her.
Alright. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please.
Sir! Hey, I found something. What is this, sir? It looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle.
And this is a great find, Detective.
What? It is, sir.
Let's try pairing this up this blade with this handle.
Take that!
I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon.
Oh, hey, they fit together perfectly.
And this blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched.
I'm going to go return Miss Balby's knife now.
Alright. I trust that you'll make sure that it is returned to Ambassador Polino. I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it, Callisto U. But the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cochran's murder. Which means that you must have been Mr. Cochran's killer. You killed Mr. Cochrane with the Albestian knife. Switched the handles, and then took the original blade of the Balby's knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kane near the opening stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up?
You craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it.
Problems? In what respect?
Why do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was also I could capture Kay Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device at Gatewaterland, I knew right away that you were Brain Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. So, that's why you tried to pin Mr. Cochrane's murder on me? Yes, I knew you would show up at this assembly tonight. At this embassy tonight. But I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes. Once I had you under arrest, I planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You were going to take Little Thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key.
Then the person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday. You. That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it?
In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment.
And then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu?
Why? There is no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean?
The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day.
Does that mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Cochrane? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings. Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're going to tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Shina?
I guess I should tell you. Then that I was... No. I guess I should tell you then that I was the one who set the Balby's embassy on fire.
Why did you do that?
I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills.
That was what the smuggling was trying to do. Then why start two fights?
Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation after all. I've had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Wait, Miss Shina. Yes. When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, that I should return them to you. You can have them. They're of no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Edgeworth? About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight.
What?
I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will.
Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, Agent Lang? Mark my words. I'm not done here, and I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, and I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be. His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in his injured leg. It's finally over, Kay.
Like I peered into her heart a little, you know. It's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands, I thought my father was a problem to be removed.
And that person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring.
Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favour to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Johnny Ninja show. Until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome.
I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There's a bit of soil stuck on the end of these sticks. Oh, I guess it's that time already, huh?
Oh, it's midnight. The dawn of another day.
Oh, hey, Pops. Thanks a bunch. You've really done a lot for everyone all these years.
Detective Bad, don't tell me today is the day. Yeah, it is. For this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire. We almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything. But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagarasu, were chasing after. The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you.
Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also a part of the Yatagarasu?
As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you.
Uncle Bad.
Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right?
Unfortunately, it isn't.
Oh, come on, sir. She's just yanking on my chain, isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth?
Detective Bad. Wait, no, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu.
Oh, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth. Here, I should give these back to you. These are the pages from my KG8 case file that the Yatagarasu stole from my office.
Wait, what?
Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night. So, the Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it?
Oh, wait. Then that means... What? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir.
It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG incident, it was a very emotionally trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor, and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in the case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, he let out a great wail. That's when we realized there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. And that's how we formed the Yatagarasu. A vow to bring to light any dirty dealings companies held with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group. Mr. Amano's conglomerate. We called ourselves the Yatagarasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then, it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart, and Faraday, he died for it.
But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KGA incident?
After Faraday's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, ECU. She never had a sister. What? Then that means Sheena wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto U was also another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring.
She said it herself. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we struck onto this page, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file. Please, use it wisely. Trump card? That photo that we stuck on there. Try peeling it off. Behind it, as long as a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago. It's the mark of the Yatagarasu. Why? This is a directives card. And this is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. And this was something Kogan had on him at the time of the KG8 incident 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU. What? Why is the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu? The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggler's ring's boss used. Apparently, orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently, it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze. So, you mean the cards were written in Baldy's ink? And the fact that the card that Koken was sent made it into Faraday's hand at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, They would send a card along with it to the police. So that's what those white cards are. The great thief that used the mark that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader, and we were only a few steps behind. One more thing, Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you.
What is this, sir?
And this is what I was talking about earlier. During the KGA incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence. But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it? The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano, and he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping came. In this video,
Don't come any closer! I'm warning you!
this is the same video as the one Mr. Portsman was trying to conceal from me. Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Mano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence. Then, that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader to Mr. Portsman. The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them. The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is... whether you use them or not is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who is above the law. Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bard, there is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them. You still insist that, even now, you really are something else. I leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu.
Pops.
Don't ever lose your detective spirit.
Pops. Why is this happening? This isn't justice.
Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Is this really the end of a legend? Oh, it's not the end of the case. But it's damn well going to be the end of the stream, because I need to go and get something to eat. So, that is going to be all for now. And I will be back later to finish it off. Yeah. There. After I've eaten, had a drink, and all that. So for now, though, bye!